Welcome friends, welcome back to the kitchen, welcome back to the New Year's Eve edition of Cocktails After Dark. Tonight we're going to do 2 bottled cocktails out of this 1906 cocktail book. And I think bottled cocktails are a great idea for New Year's Eve for a bunch of reasons. One, you can mix them all up before you go to the party and you can take them with the party, take them to the party with you. Or if you're hosting a party, you could mix them up ahead of time and then you don't have to be mixing drinks while you're hosting. And I guess the third reason is by the time 10 or 11 o'clock rolls around, you know that your cocktail's still going to be good because you mixed them all ahead of time. And this idea of the pre-mixed bottled cocktail isn't anything new. Today we're doing it out of this 1906 cocktail book. But this cocktail book from 1904 is filled with bottled cocktails. And this Jerry Thomas Bartender's Guide from 1870 is also filled with bottled cocktails. So they go right back to the beginning. And in this time period, especially with this cocktail book, this was for sort of those houses. This was for the servants in those houses, think Downton Abbey, where you would go out on a shooting party and someone would provide you with a basket lunch and a bottle of cocktail. So we're going to do 2 cocktails. One is called the whiskey cocktail and one is the HPW cocktail. No clue what HPW stands for. If you want to tell me, please leave that down in the comments. So this is going to be a whiskey cocktail. This is going to be a gin cocktail, but both of them share some ingredients. Each one gets 1 liqueur glass of Curacao. And in this case, the book tells me that 1 liqueur glass is 1 ounce. So each of these is going to get 1 ounce of Curacao. And then each one gets half a liqueur glass of orange bitters. So that's a ½ ounce of orange bitters in each one. And the whiskey cocktail gets 6 dashes of Angostura. Okay, so 6 dashes of Angostura. We'll get those ingredients out of the way so I don't get confused. Even though it is the beginning of the night, I still get confused. We need 20 ounces of rye whiskey. So that's 2½ cups of rye whiskey. And I'm using Dillon's rye. So here we go. The first 2 cups. And a half. And that pretty much finishes that bottle of rye. So now I need 4 ounces of water. And the water component is to replicate what you would get from the ice. So when you're icing a drink, you're chilling it, but you're also introducing water into the drink. So the water is an important component. Although this one doesn't get any water, so I'm not really sure. And to me, this is a cocktail that you would pour into a lowball glass over a piece of ice anyway. So I'm not really sure about the water. We'll find out. Okay, so for the gin drink, I need 10 ounces of French vermouth, and I'm using this Dolan's. And 10 ounces. And then I need 14 ounces of dry gin, and I'm using this Dillon's dry gin. And 14 ounces. Luckily, I have measuring cups with some pretty good ounce measurements on the side. It would be a whole lot easier if this was in metric. It seems like a lot of alcohol, doesn't it? And so in that goes. And let me check my recipe. So 20 ounces of rye whiskey, got that. 4 ounces of water, liqueur glass of Curacao, half a liqueur glass of orange bitters, and 6 dashes of Angostura, 10 ounces of French vermouth, 14 ounces of dried gin, half a liqueur glass of orange bitters, and 1 liqueur glass of Curacao. Looks good. Okay, and we'll just give these a stir. And I'll get a couple of glasses. 2 glasses. Some ice in each one. Okay, now you can portion these out however you want at your party. You can leave them in a jug at your own party if that's what you're doing, or you can move them to bottles.
Hey, friends. Hey, Glen.
Like we're going to do. Hey, Jules.
Yeah, oh, these are for this evening's
These
event?
are for this evening's event, so we're going to take these with us somewhere else. So I'm going to pour them into these bottles.
Good, because I don't know that that would be good for me at all.
No, it might not travel
It's
well.
not a wise decision.
Probably someone on the train might have something to say if we show a couple of pictures of cocktails.
Oh, lovely gin flavor. Mm-hmm. Am I allowed to try it?
Yes,
So
go
I
ahead.
totally was ready.
So just in a jug. I mean, if you've got an old wine bottle,
Oh, so apparently that plus 1 glass to taste is,
is the right size.
The appropriate amount.
Yeah. So have one before you go, and then fill the bottle.
So I really like this one. It's definitely a very clear gin flavor to it, though. So if you don't like gin, this isn't for you, but I find it to be very refreshing.
That's really nice too.
All right.
Garnishes, of course, have a little basket of garnishes out. I mean, that could really do with a slice of orange because there's the orange flavor in it.
That one's also very good.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
I think this will be more popular.
Yes, more people will probably
We'll probably
be down
like this
with- yeah.
one, but I really like that one because of the gin.
Okay, so very easy. And this cocktail book, the author goes on a bit of a diatribe at the back.
What?
Yes, this guy
We
goes
don't
on.
know anyone who does that, do we?
This guy goes on a bit of a diatribe and essentially says that every cocktail is a bottled cocktail.
You just have to
You just have to do the math.
do the math.
Multiply it by 10, multiply it by 20. And at one point he says if someone comes to you for a banquet, because this is a pro bartender guide.
Yeah.
Someone comes to you with a banquet and says they've got 10,000 people coming, it should be no problem. You should be able to figure that out in 5 minutes and have everything ordered.
There you go.
So every cocktail can be done this way. And during the pandemic, I know here in Toronto, a lot of restaurants did very well by selling bottled cocktails.
Yes.
Sort of saved their bacon during the pandemic. So we're going out tonight. We're going to take our bottled cocktails with us. We'll see if anybody likes them. Happy New Year to everybody. Play safe tonight. And we'll see you back here tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Toronto time. Julie and I are hosting a live YouTube New Year's morning levee.
Feel free to come in your jammies.
Come in your jammies. Hang out with us
I will
live.
probably get dressed because, a little self-conscious about jammies in the front of the camera.
And
but,
we'll do a live Q&A. We'll wish everybody a Happy New Year. And we'll tell you if anybody liked these cocktails.
All right, my friend.
Thank you so much for 2022.